A very good evening to you once again, and welcome to the program Abuja File, your favorite program on television. My name is John Okoro. Abuja File is that program where we discuss and bring to the fore issues that pertain to the nation's capital. Here we discuss policies and developmental issues and all other things that affect you as a resident of the FCT. On the program today, we shall be looking at parks and recreation as a tool to increase and enhance the aesthetics, the beauty of our nation's capital. And on the program to discuss this topic with me is none other than Hajia Riskatu Abdulazeez, the former director, FCT Parks and Recreation Department. Hajia, you are welcome to Abuja Fire.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. John.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you very much
I hope the weather has been clement in the FCT. It didn't rain much today.
No, the weather is it's okay.
And out there, the weather is so clement and so sunny. Maybe this evening you might be having some kind of shower and drizzle.
Possibly.
In the FCT.
Possibly.
All right. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. All you have to do is just to sit down, relax, and enjoy the program. Yes, Hajia, just going straight to our topic of discussion. People hear parks and recreation in the FCT, and they see a lot of activities going on, concerning this issue of parks and recreation. Can you just give us an outline of what parks and recreation means in terms of beautifying the Federal Capital Territory?
Thank you very much. Let me first of all define what the Parks and Recreation Department it's meant for.
Exactly.
It is. Parks and Recreation Department was a department that was created in 2005 out of the Task Force for Accelerated Greening Program of the then Minister Malam Nasiru El-Rufai when he embarked on the restoration of the Abuja Master Plan. So the Accelerated Greening Task Force was formed, and this task force now metamorphosed into the Department of Parks and Recreation. The Parks and Recreation is being guided by the mandate given to it, being guided by the Gazette signed by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo, and then the 2005 Park Policy. And the mandate is for the Department of Parks and Recreation to plan, to design, and to develop parks.
To plan, to design,
and to develop parks
in the FCT.
At the same time, to take care of the general greening of the FCT, and also to encourage recreational activities to enhance the mental and physical well-being of the residents and the visitors alike. So that is the mandate of the Department of Parks and Recreation. All right.
When you were the director of this very important department of the FCTA, the Federal Capital Territory Administration, can you give us maybe some insight into some of the things you did, some of the projects you carried out in carrying out this particular mandate you just enumerated?
Thank you very much. I assumed the directorship of Parks and Recreation Department in August 2020, and I retired based on age in August 2022. And before I tell you the projects or what I achieved, I want you to note that the activities in Parks and Recreation are number one, daily, routine, seasonal, and time-bound.
Daily, routine,
seasonal and time-bound.
Can you?
Which means on a daily basis, you go out and do some specific work in terms of the greening, general greening
Like trimming of trees,
planting of trees, and then things must be done at a specific time in a specific season. For example, if you don't plant during the rainy season, that is the seasonal aspect of it. Dry season cannot come and say you want to plant in the dry season. So that's why I said
seasonal.
Daily. And daily you have to go out to maintain the trees, to monitor the activities in the parks and recreational areas, and time bound. Like I said, you are supposed to do a specific thing at the right season and at the right time. If you don't do it, you have missed it. You understand me?
I'm with you. Yes.
So during my reign, the department, when the department was created, the then government were looking for people to partner with the department in order to develop recreational areas. So private sector was brought in to join the department in greening and developing recreational areas, yes, aside from the greening and beautification. So private sector came in, government was giving them park areas, green areas to develop.
What we call gardens.
The
kind of
exactly to develop. And each garden has its specific purpose, or we call it a theme or purpose. If you are given a garden to develop children playground, you cannot go and turn it into a golf course ground.
Exactly.
You understand me? So people were encouraged to come and take up this thing at that time. So in the course of time, issues of multiple allocations now set in, issues of forgery set in, leading to serious issues of litigations, court cases, and several committees were now set up to look into these problems. We have different types of committees
that were set up,
like the DTAH committee, the Ismaila committee, the then ES, he headed a committee, and then when the immediate past minister came on board, the problems were still there.
Of multiple allocations.
Exactly.
And people using these gardens to do other things.
Point and kill, doing other things that are not supposed to be done in a green area or in gardens. So the then Minister Muhammad Bello now set up another committee within the Land Use Allocation Committee to look at these anomalies in the Department of Parks and Recreation. And because of that, all activities relating to park processing were put on hold. That was since 2016, 2017 precisely, up to the time I came on board. But in that, the committee was given a mandate to review the policy. The 2005 policy was now reviewed by this committee. And towards the end of the year 2019, they finished their work and the minister approved the new policy. Tagged 2019 park policy.
Okay.
So.
And what's the new policy, the improved policy? What did it bring to the table as something new?
I'm coming to that.
All right.
So when the policy was approved, what remained is what strategy will you use to implement it? And that is number one project that I handled. I now developed the 2019 park policy implementation strategy.
Okay.
And this implementation strategy, if fully implemented, though it's in process, they've started using it now.
Okay.
Although I didn't get to start to use it, because the embargo placed on park activities was never lifted until up till the time I left the office in August 2022.
So as of 2022, the FCTA, was not issuing new permits.
No new allocations, no approval for drawings, no vetting of drawings, no approval of building plan for
parks and recreational facilities.
Exactly. So up till the time I left in August 2022. Well, before I left, I had developed the implementation strategy for the policy.
All right.
So, and the policy, the strategy is meant to curb the issue of multiple allocation. It's meant to curb forgery. It's meant to enhance revenue generation for the department. And it's going to, the policy, the strategy, if properly put in place, will also enhance the capacity of the staff working in parks and recreation, and then improve the general outlook in terms of aesthetics of the federal capital city.
Territory, and the city itself particularly. And you say that currently now this particular strategy or the policy is now being implemented.
Yes.
Based on the information available to you?
Based on information available, because immediately the new minister came, and the director I handed over to was director admin then. So when they now brought, he was just to oversee the department. So when a substantive director was posted there, they started the implementation of the park policy and all the park processes.
Okay. Let me just ask this question. When you were there as the director, was it the time that this controversy came on about the time to close these gardens? Because there were a lot of issues about insecurity, about drug abuse, and so many things. It's like there was a circular that was issued from that actually gave a time. It was 9 o'clock in the evening that the park should be closed.
It was.
Or any garden.
It was when I was there as the director. The minister directed the timing. Although the minister did not just directed that parks should close by 7 from abstract.
Okay.
It is there in the gazette of the then president Olusegun Obasanjo. The time when parks should open and time when parks should close. It is there in the gazette. And in the 2005 policy too, it is there. Only that it is when the rates of crime increased. You understand me? And then the minister said we must go back to that.
To that gazette.
That parks must close by 7 p.m. But the park operators vehemently opposed it.
It was controversial.
Not park operators alone, even the visitors to the park.
Like they say, it enhanced the nightlife of the FCTA. City. So what was in by early evening?
Security is something that should not be taken for granted. Exactly. You won't say because you want to relax and enjoy in a place that is secured. You will not just go and endanger your life because you want to. It's the living that will enjoy life. You understand me? And it is the healthy. If you are sick or somebody happens to you in the park, what time will you have to? Where's the strength to even go to say you are going to relax or do something? So that was it. It was when I was there, and the minister did not just say it out of the blues. It has always been there in the gazette.
Was it at the end of the day, after the controversy, how did it end? Did you allow the operators to go on into the night?
We continued monitoring.
Okay, monitoring them.
We continued the monitoring. If by any means maybe the monitoring, I wouldn't know has
whether it's
gone down still on or no, but up till the time I left.
But were there specific incidents that maybe things that have to do with crime that were recorded within this garden?
Exactly. There was a garden along the airport road, somewhere along Lugbe, I think, where somebody was gunned down. Yes.
That was so unfortunate.
Yes. It was a drinking joint within the garden. But on investigation, we discovered that particular garden is not part of the normal green area given. It was a building. They had
was
maybe
kind of
something. It's not a park.
Okay, it was not an official park.
Exactly. I think the person just developed a relaxation center where people go to relax. That was on our investigation. But initially we thought it was a normal park. Okay. But when the report came and we did our enforcement unit went and did their investigation, we now found out that it was not a regular park. It was
a kind of an illegal park.
Exactly.
Exactly. Was not given the permission.
And then before then, there were a lot of reports from the security agencies that most of these criminals come from the suburbs of the city and then take shelter in these parks in the afternoon towards evening. Once night falls, they move to their target from there. That is why we insisted, and the then minister, now the authority now said, okay, the parks must comply with the official closing time of 7 p.m.
Okay, now looking at official recreation centers in the FCT, because I know that around the world, where you go to great cities like London, you get the Hyde Park and there's so many others. You go to London, you go to the New York, it's Central Park and so many others. These are recreational parks. In the FCT here in Abuja, especially in the city center, the only known park or recreational park or area space that I can remember is the Millennium Park.
Yes.
I don't think there is any other one. Why so?
The Millennium Park is not the only park, but the Millennium Park is the park that was developed like for as a corporate social responsibility of that company.
Okay, private company.
Private company.
Okay.
With the FCT.
In partnership or in collaboration?
No, just as corporate social, their responsibility.
Okay, they built and donated.
Exactly, the FCT, and they manage up till today.
Okay, the company.
Yes, they are managing it.
Okay.
They are the ones managing the Millennium Park, and it is free. It is open to everybody. It is open to public. That is it. So that is how parks are supposed to be. Government is supposed to build parks. But like I told you, in those days, when the Abuja master plan was being restored back, and we're looking for people to accelerate the development, and government didn't have enough resources, because developing a park is not a child's play. So that was why the then administration was looking for people that are capable of developing parks to come and take over the park. But there's one thing people don't understand. If you're given a park to operate, to develop and operate, it is not like regular land. Now, when you give you for 99 years, you just pay your ground rent. You are holding it. You are supposed to be holding it on lease for the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Sure.
All green areas are domiciled. The CFO, everything is supposed to be domiciled in the Department of Parks and Recreation for government. So when you go to park and they give you a piece of green area to develop for recreation, it does not mean that they've given you a license that you can go and obtain a CFO on it. No, they are just subleasing. We call it sublease. We sublease for the time. Okay, maybe I can come back to the implementation strategy.
Okay.
So that you get to understand the procedures, all the areas in which this 2019 park policy has addressed the gray areas. Number one, you express your expression of interest.
That's the first step.
To develop a park. And how you do this, you pick up a form from the department at a stipulated fee. Non-refundable. You pick that form, you fill it. After filling it, you return it along with your company name, your evidence of registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission, your tax clearance, a concept of what you want to do in the area you're looking for. For example, maybe you want to do sport facilities. You just give a type of schematic or skeletal drawings of the idea what you want to put in exactly. So all these attachments you attach to the form, you return to the department. The department collate lists, shortlist, and send to the minister for approval. Once it is approved, the department will now issue you a letter of sublease, not allocation letter. Like the land sublease.
It's not like the land tenure of 99 years.
Sublease. They will give you a sublease. When you collect your sublease, of course with a fee, that letter you pay for it, because people take it for granted. You used to take it for granted. You just apply. You didn't spend any kobo. You get your letter of sublease. You didn't spend any kobo, so you can decide to do whatever. But whatever you have put in some resources into, you take it with all seriousness.
All right.
So,
okay,
you pick up your letter of sublease. They give you, okay, you have accepted. You turn in your acceptance. The next thing is to forward your drawings to the department,
yes,
for vetting. Your drawings, your TDP, your environmental impact assessment of the place, you take it back to the department. Department vets. After vetting, they forward this to development control department that will issue review and then issue you approval to develop the park.
Okay, during the time you were there at the director, did you experience some challenges in terms of carrying out your responsibilities?
A lot of challenges.
Can we hear one or two of them?
A lot of challenges. Number one challenge is dealing with these park operators. Having to let them understand the meaning or the essence of creating green areas in a city. These recreational areas are not just created for fun. They are supposed to be the lungs for the city, where the city can breathe.
Exactly.
You understand me?
Right.
And they are there to provide recreational
facilities
and for the residents and space, and then to also beautify.
Yes, very important.
You plant flora, you maintain the lawns and the flower beds, so that the aesthetic appeal of the city can be shown. But to get people to do that, to obey, it's a Herculean task. And it's something that you have to do every day. You don't rest. That is number one. So which means the manpower must match the schedule of work you have at hand. Unfortunately, we have a dearth of manpower in the department.
In the department, that's one of the challenges you face.
Exactly. Number two of the challenges, apart from manpower, I told you, well, let me see, resources, both human.
Women and the money, funding.
Financial, exactly, funding. Because if the overhead that was being allocated to parks and recreation before I came there, up till the time I left, is still what they are given, I don't know how the current director is managing. Because every season comes with its own peculiar problem. Apart from the rainy season, dry season, we have the festive seasons.
Okay. Where a lot of people
where you have to make sure that all park operators comply to security safety during festive
like Salah,
season, exactly, Christmas, Easter, all these things.
And all that thing.
And all these things. So it's not about seasonal rainy or dry season, even festive season.
Period. Okay. All right. Because of time constraint, Haja, will be leaving the studio soon now.
Okay.
If you look at the present ambience of the city, and looking into the future, will you say that at least maybe based on what you did while you were there, that you set a very good precedent for the person that succeeded you, and that what you see today, that you are satisfied with it?
You know, development just not comes at once. From the time I left till now, it's 2 years. The city is big. The department is trying, but they can still do more. They can still do more. They are really trying.
So it's just about maybe more funding,
more human resource to be able to tackle the whole city, because the city is expanding every day.
And sometime again, you have issues of in some places where you already had mature trees, you go and cut them down. People say, no, but these trees were providing shade and beauty. Why cutting them down?
We don't cut down. Cutting of trees is not allowed in the city.
All right.
It is an offense to remove a tree.
Okay.
If for any reason you want to remove a tree, you want to cut down a tree, there's a process. You apply to the department that you want to remove this tree for so reason. The department will come and assess and see whether your reason is really cogent for the removal of that tree.
Okay.
Then if we are given approval to remove that tree, you must replace that one you remove with minimum of two
trees. Okay.
Two trees.
All right. That has been Hajia Riskatu Abdulazeez, the former director, FCTA Parks and Recreation Department, and she's been our guest on Abuja File today. And this is the size of our package on the program today. We will come your way same time next week. Before then, be a patriotic Nigerian. My name is John Okoro. See you next time. Goodbye.